Okay, that's a small derust material. Starting with double door. Okay, double door. First thing is where you jump from. I try to jump from, like, you can see how snow texture looks like on the roof here. I try to jump from this place where there is a little less snow gradient on the edge of the roof, like on the edge of the where less snow begins. Kind of weird explanation, but what it is. So then you jump, then you jump to the right of the first place where you're gonna land. So you ultimately want to end up here where my cursor is, like to the right from this thing, right? And second important part, you jump there and you line up your camera parallel to the wall. That way, when you jump from the wall, when you press A on a keyboard, like I do the skip on a keyboard, when you press A on a keyboard, your character will actually turn left enough most of the times. And obviously you have to jump in a good enough timing that it's not too early, to not, like if you jump relatively high, like if you do get the wall jump and you end up being high, you have to press left for less amount of time. If you end up like being lower, you have to press it for like longer, right? So that's something you have to do by feel. Okay, then second jump is like I immediately press D on a keyboard and just jump. Like I don't have any lineup or anything, it's just super easy. You just press D and jump, and then you just wall jump on this thing. You can see like there I jumped like super late and that's still enough height, so it's absolutely not precise. Then you stop entirely after you get on this thing. And my visual cue to get stuck with sprinting forward is this, like this plank, this edge, this like gap between two different planks. That's the visual cue I use where I want my character to be facing. So you start sprinting, you jump first, and as soon as you jump, you press D. So like if you will press D too fast, then there is a high chance that you will just not get the jump at all. Like character will just not jump off properly. But you have like to jump pretty much, you press D and then you press forward and move your camera to the side. Like it's kind of hard to explain, but as long as you get the lineup where to get stuck running into the wall, it will be like no issue to jump over this thing. Next advice, better to use gaching on the roof. From my experience, like I don't know why, maybe my pathing gets affected when I as low, but yeah, like it's kind of annoying because I do this on keyboard. It's kind of annoying to use gaching, but whatever. Sometimes I do it on the stairs, sometimes on the roof, but I think that doing it on a roof kind of makes a little bit more sense. That's about double door. Next thing gonna be Hirata 2. There is not much to mention, just some information for the future. So you use Tanto like usual, fight Lone Shadow like usual, use Gachin like usual. Nothing much. So somewhat important details is, well, you kill this guy and you have to go relatively late left here. This needed to get the right stored position after the quit out, because if you will just go straight forward, you will have to crouch, and maybe like Juzo will still notice you even if you crouch around him, so you can't like use your Yashuriku sugar instantly. I do use like regular sugar, not Spiritfall. That's like potentially suboptimal, but in fact like it makes very little difference because it's exchanged with the Headless Ape sugar. The reason why I use sugar here like that is to be able to do potentially like faster owl fights, because with this emblems management you have 25 emblems for owl, and you can do jump MD, jump MD, jump MD, basically. Well, jump MD follow up fight after the opener. after the owl form opener, and that can be fast, but it's kind of YOLO strat, so whatever. Most important part, go left, use regular sugar. Next thing is bull. So about bull, you use sugar on the line with this like barricade thingy. That's somewhat where bull starts to aggro you. I do take the straight beeline. Like after I kill the soldier, I try to take like a straight beeline to the gate ahead, or rather like to the wall ahead, and I'm looking at the bull constantly. Like depends on what he does. You like it's not very important to read the slow attack, but if it's a fast attack, like you have to turn a little earlier. So you just need to have a line of sight with him. Then you deflect, and then fight goes like usual. Just spam a lot of R1, then spam a lot of dash, then spam a lot of... yeah, there I messed up somehow. I'm actually not sure how, really. Maybe positioning was bad for the follow-up. Doesn't really matter, but most important thing is the beeline you take, and that you have to look at the bull the whole time. Next thing is gonna be 9 SSD. So first thing I figured, which is important, is your positioning at the start. Because if you jump forward, actually if you jump off from the roof and you actually go like straight forward the whole time, or even if you hug this wall while falling without moving, you will have part of the hacker machines aggro at you the way that it's going to be less comfortable to kill them. They will spread out less, so it will be more annoying to kill them consecutively, right? So what you have to do instead, you have to start falling backwards after you jump. Then I do move my camera to the bottom, so I don't have anyone in sight, and that way I just lock on decides to lock on the guy I'm looking for. So I do just no sprint, damage glitch, and then you kill them one by one. There's 4, nothing new there. Movements for the first part is the same like always. You go to the sewer, whatever, like hatch, wait for missile to pick up the following wave here for at least one cycle of arrows, not arrows, missiles. Then you go straight, like I started going straight into the corpses pretty much. And what you have to do afterwards, when you go through, basically you're waiting for the only remaining hacker machine to perform the hack circle. And based on what it is, like if you see, like this time I'm not getting hacked, like he cancels the hack, but if it's a hack, you have to like wait for it before you get the stumble animation, and only then jump SD. Like jump SD is pretty much done by feel. Like you just have to jump in a group of machines. They will follow you quite differently from time to time, so you just pray that you jump correctly and SD correctly. But most important thing is to wait for the guy to perform the hack fully, right? And if he actually hacks the jump function, I usually rebuff and use the cure, because without jump, you will probably never make it in a good spot for an SD. Or if you will like start dashing right into corpses, there is a much higher chance to get like perfect evade. And if you get perfect evade, it costs time, and because it costs time, like enemies will start like spreading around like idiots because they are not following you, rather like trying to go around you and wait for attack and stuff like that. So I prefer to cure the jumping functionality and attempt my SD from the jump. If you get hit, get staggered, whatever happens, what I usually do is just I rebuff if I haven't rebuffed before, and I keep attempting my SD. Like no matter how many enemies I'm gonna kill, I just hope for it. Like there is not much you can do. Like killing enemies normally will never be the case with this strat. So you just have to perform your SD as fast as possible, like pretty much with this pathing. There is no need to wait for anything except this hack, and that's pretty much it.